and pleasers.
Hello.
Welcome to our show, Checkpoint, the show where we discuss and discern the current events of the most recent episode of Check Please. Today we are discussing Check Please episode 62. And I'd love to welcome our members today. I am Keni, your fortunate host. Foaly as my co-host, hungry for fleshed out answers.
Om nom nom.
Xeno, our swamp witch monger.
Hello.
Beardy, our beloved daddy DM.
Hello.
And Skrewy, our rock hard holy man, who's really trying to get rock hard.
Wait, what?
Hey,
He's trying
we are
real
setting
hard.
plans into motion. Things may happen. We shall see.
Really trying for it. I believe in you.
All we have to do is save the world first.
All I
Maybe.
have to do is save the world and then ruin Vera's life.
This is the best plan.
There's a scene in the second Kingsman movie that I just laugh every single time. There's a prisoner and opens the thing. If you stew it,
Don't. I know the reference you're going to make, and just don't.
I'm just gonna leave it there.
Yep. And it was the first.
But it
Kingsman.
makes me laugh every single time
No.
I think
naughty.
about it.
There's this one comic that I watch, that I look at every time. It makes me laugh. So
Please
there's
don't
this
get us
cat-
canceled, guys.
Nah.
There's this cat, and he loves lasagna.
Oh my god, I hate lasagna.
It
I have
just
so
has.
much in common.
It has connections with saving the world and getting carnally rewarded afterwards. But let's not even go there. Let's dive into the episode, which picks up just after Vera sets fire to an entire room full of, in fairness, mostly
actually,
dead giants.
It starts off like as Karis is
Oh.
sealing the black sapphire.
Beg pardon. Yes, we did get further than that, didn't we? I was. Yes.
That's where it
My
started.
apologies.
But
Yep,
I did
so-
blow up that place.
Yeah, you are still proud of that, so we can
am.
mention that a few more times.
Oh, of course. Yep.
That was awesome.
Definitive finishing off kills. Those knocked opponents are now eliminated. It's all good.
Oh yeah, they're very dead.
Yeah, Vera's the coolest.
Stabilizing them was a waste of time, but they
Oh,
got
yeah,
a few
they're
more seconds of
dead.
life.
Yeah.
They gave them the ability to
To-
make
to
peace with their
suffer.
maker.
Set their affairs in order, write up a will quickly.
Sure. And then that will was incinerated.
Yeah. Suffer under the effects of a firestorm spell. Things like that.
Ooh. Oh yeah.
They had it coming. Let's be honest.
They had a
These
comment.
are not nice people.
They
By any
wanted to
stretch.
enslave Kurla. That's just mean.
What
Mhm.
was up with Kurla assuming that Petra would be okay with slavery?
I'm like,
what was up with that? I was like, why would Petra be okay with that? He literally stopped working part of the Legion because he was like, I don't feel comfortable with killing anymore.
Honestly, that I was midway through the sentence, realized it didn't actually fit with any of the characters, and stopped myself. And then you all demanded that I finish the sentence.
let's go. Let's
continue
the thought.
Petra seemed like the funniest target, and what everyone was saying I should choose. So I'm like, okay, sure, Petra, why not?
Kurla chooses Petra like all the time. I feel bad for Petra
I
at this
mean,
point.
let's-
No, like I feel like it's a lot.
It's with love, though. I mean, Skrewy, you appreciate that it's with love. Does Petra appreciate
He's
that it's
too
with love?
nice. He's too nice. You can't ask him if he appreciates it because he'll just try to say the nice thing and be like, "Oh no, I'm fine," because he's too nice of a person. I gotta be here to be the bear.
I trust that Skrewy would call me on it if it ever got too much. You're right that Petravian will probably never call Kurla on it.
No, I don't think Skrewy would call any of us on it until he hit a breaking point.
Mm.
Well, I don't know.
Direct
About that
messages
next
after.
question.
I might know my boy a little too well.
it's like giving your big sibling shit.
Yes, it feels.
What?
Uh,
I mean, that's how Kurla conceptualizes it, I should clarify.
oh yeah. Petra is. God damn it! I really just I'm easy, aren't I?
Too nice, too nice.
Un petit peu.
But no, Petra would not be okay with slavery.
Good, good, good. We don't have any slavers
Yes.
in our group. Yay!
No.
You've taken a wild stance here, buddy.
I'm just saying. Just saying.
So yeah, we can perhaps consider that to have been. I don't even know what. Let's just move on from that.
Hmm.
An odd moment,
Mm-hmm.
non sequitur. Anyway,
Let's move on to other odd moments.
well, no, we
Nope. Items. That's
Yes.
not odd at all.
some odd items, some odd magical items that were then identified. We got some cool shit. What did folks think about
Yeah.
that?
I feel lucky.
Well, let's start with that. Yeah, Riz made out very nicely there with a pretty cool amulet.
Well,
Let's
it's
talk
not
about
my fault that everyone was wearing an amulet already. I was
okay,
so
I have
excited.
+2 for Petra. I think this amulet would have been a downgrade because
Mhm.
+2 to his natural armor is very useful for being able to go in and bonk up close.
Yeah.
I'd have swapped my amulet out happily, but at the same time, as a player, I know Riz is squishy, and as a character, Curler knows that Riz is the weakest, just in terms of the
Blast
damage
cannon.
that they can take. Not in terms of the damage that they can deal out. They're fucking powerful there, but they also are at most risk every time we go into combat. So
This
yeah,
is what
Curler wanted
happens when
them.
you are a herald.
So yeah, Curler wanted them to be safe. It made sense in and out of character, I think, for Riz to take that amulet. And now what was it you were saying before we started?
I'm the
most
smartest player character ever in the Adrian universe, probably.
It's what, like 26, 27 now?
That's 26.
Bloody
I don't know
hell.
if those
What's
bonuses
the old
stack.
statement? Intelligence is knowing that a tomato is a fruit, but wisdom is knowing it doesn't belong in a fruit salad.
I like that.
Knowing
But
it
yeah.
belongs in the garbage.
That's true. Fuck tomatoes, unless they're cooked.
No way! I love those little grape tomatoes. Bloom, bloom, bloom,
You're
bloom,
such an
bloom.
old man.
It's
Yes,
tomato juice
yes,
I
I
can't
am.
get behind. Ugh.
I can do tomato juice.
It's cooked.
I suppose it has to, doesn't it?
Ketchup, pasta
Yes.
sauce,
Salsa.
sauce,
Pizza
Marinara.
sauce,
pizza.
marinara,
But I fully expected these items to
Salsa?
be cursed.
salsa.
That is cooked.
Well,
Somehow
after your
cursed.
adventures last time, it's completely understandable. After we last found powerful magical items and the belt.
But
Whoopsie.
then the king would be cursed, which would
Yes.
didn't make complete sense.
Maybe he's into that? I
Maybe
Or-
we
got
could.
nothing.
Or immune to it, like it was a
Hmm.
curse that
Didn't really affect
I don't know.
him or
He's always
something.
stubbed his big toe no matter what, and he doesn't have.
He doesn't
but
care.
he didn't. But he doesn't have a big toe.
Well, it's sometimes curses have an effect that are beneficial to some people. So it's possible that if they were cursed, then the curses would have worked to his benefit anyway, because it obviously made him the strongest person in his area.
And stubbing his big toe gave him an excuse to, I don't know, shit, I'm having a bad day, I'm going to kill off a courtier.
Yeah, exactly, and keeps
You know.
keeps people afraid of him, which helps him establish power.
Well, aside from the big toe stubbing and killing as a result, he had some other shit going on that made him quite fearsome, like Pride's Edge, which I love. I love that name for this sword. The horrible, huge, ginormous, frightening, could be a dining room table if you added legs to it, sword. I was considering suggesting that, actually. Dining room table.
Turning it into a table.
Put some, like, wood around the edges and
All I
put
see
some legs
is-
on it.
The ability to get tetanus.
I just imagine putting Pride's Edge in the ground at a slant and then putting a few lions on top with a monkey showing off a baby lion.
Oh, that took... Considering how much I love that film, that took me way too long to get that reference, so thank you for that. Oh, bless that film for teaching me what love should feel like. Anyway,
Let's talk about The Lion King 2 then.
Plus, I mean, Hamlet with lions, Romeo and Juliet with lions, and then Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead with lions. What is not to love about that? But anyway, Pride's Edge, cool. It's a +3 huge sword, something for Archie to practice with. That led to some pretty...
Interested in seeing what happens with all of that. Because I know that means less attacks, because he has to probably hold that with 2 hands still, because it's still a really big sword.
Mm-hmm.
I will be looking forward to seeing what damage he can do.
Fewer
with it.
overall attacks, but ones that would ultimately probably hit harder.
Okay. And then we also gave him the shield.
Yeah, Vera wouldn't be able to use that because it's made of metal.
Yeah.
We'd have to like transmute it or something, and also downsize it as well.
Yeah, the downsizing thing just seemed like a lot of effort.
And a
Probably
lot of money.
expensive.
My only question was the shield. I mean, wasn't a plus and anything. It just had the enchantment on it.
Which is a
So-
fucking great enchantment.
Yeah, so it's a
Yes.
short-term thing, a 2d4 rounds active. But while it's active, you get a +4 AC bonus, and you get the ability to absorb and then fire back spells that are directly cast at your character.
Gotcha.
So
See, I didn't know
it's
if it also
useful.
had anything else on it.
Nothing passive, no. Just an active
Gotcha.
ability.
But I think it's pretty cool.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to seeing what Archie does with it. If
Mhm,
he can master the sword. And it did lead to some really cute scenes of Vera and Petravian trying to drill Archie in swordplay, fencing forms. That was cool.
I think Petravian would have been the best at it just because, like, a hammer and a broadsword, like, the swinging effort might be a little similar.
I'd assume that Petravian has proficiency in probably that. I'd assume, right?
Yeah,
Does
for a
have that?
paladin, they probably...
I mean, I guess I would have probably would have proficiency, but he wouldn't. He never. It was never his. Never his strong suit. So kind of
because I looked up Vera's to see if I could teach Archie anything, and then the only sword that druids know is scimitars.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
But you said they couldn't use... beg your pardon, that Vera couldn't use metal because she's a druid, so what kind of scimitar are they able to use? Or is that just because of Vera's
Armor.
specific druid type?
Armor.
Oh, beg pardon, armor.
Yeah.
Yes, that makes sense because, of course...
And the shield is also a gauntlet, if I remember.
Yeah.
So that's armor.
Well, we divided up the items, and then had a little misadventure with the... Well, no. We had to figure out the naming, the name for the sucking device, and then had some misadventures demoing it.
Oh,
Because
Levette.
Siphon is too pretentious of a name. A word.
I mean, just a little bit.
When it goes on the wiki, shameless plug, I think I will just have the title for the page be NSD, and I'll note the 2 different potential acronym meanings for it, because it's only fair.
Mhm.
Plus, yeah,
We
Karis gets to name it.
we fired it off to do a test to make sure that it works, and it fucking hurt.
That was
Yeah,
40
no, it's a
damage.
10% power.
Yeah.
For an instant.
Wonderful.
I'm so glad I
I-
had that amulet on because I would have been far more screwed.
I'm concerned that there's no, no, I'm concerned, and Curler is concerned that there's no timing mechanism. Like, when we set this thing
There
off,
is.
how... Oh, there is.
Levette said multiple times that there's a timing mechanism.
Because
I-
Vera
Yeah.
was complaining about it before. She's like, if we turn this on, we're going to die. It's like, no, we have a timing mechanism.
Levette just wanted to test it
Okay, I
to
didn't
make sure
catch
that it worked.
Fair enough. My mistake. I did not catch that. Good. Yay. We don't have to...
Not to sacrifice someone to use it.
We're not gonna... that would have led to some interesting drama,
Nah,
but
we
yeah.
gonna die during fighting Marcus, obviously.
Well, what's a little bit of death between friends?
Yeah.
Speaking of death,
is,
though,
rip the life out of people. Anyway, continue.
the kids are scared of death, which is awful.
No, they're not afraid of death. They're afraid of their mom dying.
Oh, that
Mm.
was the... Interesting. But they phrased it as, are we gonna die? But the we there was more about the mum?
Well, that in their village. This is their domain, after all.
Sure.
I don't know if
Creepy
the
butt.
kids are sure if they can die yet. They are kids. They don't know their mortality yet.
Would they, assuming it's familially inherited, would they rule together, or who would be in charge?
Probably
Or is that a
Selena.
spoiler for the future? Oh, okay, okay. Rule with an
Yeah.
iron fist.
Yeah, the this society there's fairly matriarchal. So,
Okay.
yeah.
The fact that Karis was a girl was like the only way we were able to make that work that well.
Yeah, because like, I mean, it was already pushing it being human. So,
If
I
she
mean,
was
in a lot of
man,
ways, that was-
ew.
in a lot of ways, that was already too much for a lot of people to handle. And there's been a lot of political issues in the town. They've been kept on the down low. Presidium
Through
is not
oppression.
a happy place entirely.
Oh.
Unless
Oh,
you're
no.
wealthy and live in the
Yeah,
manor of
unless
the
you're wealthy
protector.
and an elf.
Oh no! Is there a potential revolution brewing in?
The village was always messed up, guys.
Yeah, it was not. It was never framed as like
no.
the perfect place to live. Like,
Oh
Yeah.
jeez.
I mean,
Like,
remember how
Grow
bad
was
Grow
a
had it.
street rat. You realize that
Yeah.
the entire hill of this village goes from like richest to poorest, right?
Hmm.
Shit literally rolls downhill.
Mhm. Yeah.
I mean, Grow was a
Okay.
street rat. He was literally dirt.
Urchin.
Hmm
Hey,
He was an elf.
time to crusade. Curl is no longer there. Time to start on a crusade.
I tell you what, just mentioning Karis, though, going back briefly to the slavery thing, the fact that Karis said that she was planning on keeping Curler, that delighted me. That was entertaining. Apparently,
It was
that
a
didn't
joke,
resonate with anyone else,
honestly,
but I
like-
thought it was a cute moment.
It's a reference to the offer of residency.
Which still warms my heart. But anyway,
Buckles of your heart.
from there, the characters kind of dispersed throughout the manor and the grounds and had some stuff to do. Don't know what order we want to do it in. I
mean,
guess just page order.
Yeah.
Feels weird talking and then segueing into talking about a scene that was
Do you
my
want me to?
scene.
Do you
and
want me
the
to
scene
do
of-
it? Are you
Yes,
having troubles?
please.
Okay.
I am, because it's between me and Grem, who's not
Okay,
here, so it feels
so-
weird going.
What happened after everyone dispersed was Curla stopped to talk to Livette about changing their walking stick into a walking stick.
The quarterstaff that
I think that was
That-
about what it was. Yeah.
the quarterstaff that Vera hurled at.
Curla.
Thank you, forgot my own character's name. At Curler versus something that Livette would be able to whip up, and that was. I felt that was important because they have this connection now of both of them knowing what it's like to have mobility issues with their legs and unusual circumstances there. So I felt that was an important point of connection. I think it's pretty cool that they're going to have like a weird brass walking stick with with a sword in it.
I mean, if you have time for it, I doubt it'll happen before everything.
How do you mean? Oh yeah, but okay. Well, we'll see. Maybe it'll be a gift
It
after
might
we.
happen before the end of the story, but I don't know. Our characters are
Yeah.
going to get exponentially busy now, I think.
Yeah.
Right,
feel
It
like
might
I
be
don't-
like a post-credits sequence,
talk.
sort of
Which I'm
thing.
totally okay with.
You're talking about it having a Levette customized walking stick.
Yes, effectively.
I feel like Levette could do that in a minute.
We'll see.
She
But
has
it was
her
also in-
girlfriend with her, and also a whole machine she's got to make eventually.
It was.
Mm.
Go ahead, Skrewy.
She already has Moira just cut off the legs, put it on Curla. Yeah, right there.
Yum.
Mhm.
It was important to me as well, just as a player, to revisit the earlier sequence where Kurla just regenerated Levette's legs just quickly and as a pragmatic thing versus really thinking about what it could mean to Levette in that moment. So I just wanted to revisit that and come to an understanding about it and make sure that ultimately Levette was okay with that choice and that whole situation. So it was a nice moment for them to bond and something to just a hanging loose thread to tie off nicely. So.
And then
And maybe I'll get a cool sword cane out of it.
Moira's didn't seem as melancholy as they were the last time.
well, I mean, we've forgotten that she's existed half of these episodes, so it's fine.
Yes,
And I
mean,
forgot to include them in the notes, but
we always
yes.
forget our document.
I don't recall Moira being melancholy. I recall Moira being...
She was
like...
because she was like, I'm gonna be a person and you might be gone, and
Oh, I mean,
there's
that
a
would
lot
be...
of complicated things happening
Yeah.
right now.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
I actually forgot Moira was in the episode, even as I was taking notes during it. But yeah, Moira and Levette, how do we put this delicately? Levette,
They
I beg your
fucked.
pardon. I was going to say Moira spends a night
for
comforting
Christmas.
Levette, but sure, they fuck.
I didn't think Levette needed comforting. They just fucked, yo.
No.
They're dating. They fuck. It's a thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you date something that you've built and programmed yourself?
Look, to Levette, I'm sure that's a yes.
I got a
I don't
bet.
know,
Nope.
If you
nope.
make a dating sim, can you play it?
I mean, I probably wouldn't enjoy it if I made it. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, you...
Because I already
yeah,
know
you'd
what
be like-
happens.
Yeah, I mean, part of it's the mystery, right?
And other things.
The hands.
Shut up! Mm.
Interesting, but shall we move on, Kenny?
So, switching to outside, Petravian and Vera kind of discuss the chaos seed that Vera has. Xeno's so upset. He really wanted to keep
Get
that.
it back.
I swear to God, I better get that fucking seed back.
We're gonna get it back.
I mean, in my defense, Karis offered to give it back to both of your
A
characters
lot
multiple
of times.
Yes.
I was like, okay,
But
fine. I'll get it
Petravian
tomorrow.
believes. Petravian. Oh,
But I'm gonna fucking raise this house if it's missing.
Oh,
So-
those twins.
Skrewy,
Yeah, their reaction was kind of weird to that, wasn't it?
Yeah. What's that about there, Beardy?
That's a good question. What do you guys think?
I don't know. What you think, Kenny?
I think I was being directed to do some things, and I listened and obeyed to my DM daddy.
Oh boy, I am concerned.
Skrewy, I kind of want to know where the idea came from for you and also from Petravian to turn it into some sort of weird royal jelly mellifluous chaos seed hand grenade thing. And why did that
well,
seem
the
like a
king-
good idea to Petravian? Why did he think that would be
So-
effective?
So this was an idea that I had come up with last week, but I didn't know how to organically include it. But then the device went all haywire, so it gave me a nice kind of segue into the idea.
It didn't go haywire. It worked exactly how it was supposed to.
But did Petravian fully grok that?
No, he didn't.
Did-
He is. I can't remember. I don't think he had. I think he has like a straight 10 intelligence. He's not stupid, but
You have the same intelligence as Zepha. But I play Zepha stupid so that I can manipulate
get
people
away with
later.
shit. Yeah. But Petravian doesn't know this stuff, so it's like, okay, that didn't work the way we weren't supposed to be hurt. So maybe something. So it allowed the segue into this idea that if something's going wrong with the device, we have this thing that causes chaos that needs a it needs its own kind of power source, and what power source does Petravian know that's pretty goddamn powerful? Royal honey. So he thought, okay, well, maybe if it sucks it in and does something with it, maybe it can do something to distract Marcus for a little while to get the device working properly. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So it was intended as a distraction to like buy time to fix the device if it fucks up in battle, not like, oh shit, the device isn't working, so this will somehow do the job.
No,
Okay.
it was in this episode, no, it was the design. The idea was for it to be not to destroy, but to distract for a little bit.
Gotcha. Which it probably
for
would.
Vera.
Just
If it worked.
Vera wasn't as concerned about having a distraction as Vera wanted to use this in case the Kintao Empire ever wanted to fight them, and then we could take them out, take away basically their harmony, like instantly.
Mm-hmm.
As basically we have a stored nuclear weapon.
I was
We
gonna
do,
say,
but we don't. But the thing is, we know only one possibility for it, since chaos is limitless, infinitum. It has limitless possibilities. So getting a better understanding of what the potential possibilities are, the most likely possibilities are.
We're getting none of them.
What's that?
Now we're getting none of them.
Well, Karis is working on it, now I'm really concerned that the children are gonna steal it and do something to it.
Stop giving Petravian things.
I just love that like nothing legitimizes a religion so much as inspiring fear in all other peoples because they have a nuclear weapon stored away.
Oh, good. We're North Korea now. Thanks, Vera.
No, we don't tell them. We just destroy them.
I'd honestly thought that was going to be a thing later. That situation might come up with the Black Sapphire and the Hive wanting to keep that.
What would I have to do with the Black Sapphire? Oh, having Marcus, you're saying?
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know if I want to have that thing potentially escape. Although, we'd at least be able to protect it. Actually, I'd probably give it to Gigarian, if anything.
I'd
Carla
see if
has
Soul
plans for
can
it.
open up that portal to that dead planet and drop it off there.
You guys need some MacGuffinite for that then.
Mm.
You should go
So-
ask Henry where it is again. Oh wait, there's that dragon there, isn't there? Well, don't worry. You can just ask him if he knows Zell. And I'm sure it'll give you some more crystals.
We just have
We're
to stock
assuming
up
it's still
on,
there.
what was it, porn, booze, and cigars in order to bribe.
And a
Yes.
lot of gold.
And a lot of gold. And we got plenty of gold. We can buy them off.
That's because my parents gave us a lot of gold.
The Karis has plenty of gold. I don't know about any of them.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the members of the
broke.
party are still loaded.
Flat out broke.
Yeah, I think Levette's still loaded, but I think a lot of the party is not anymore.
How are we defining loaded? Like over what gold amount?
Probably over 100,000.
Oh, okay. Then I was going to say, yeah, I'm no longer. I'm poor and impecunious with only 30,000 gold.
I did try to defend the kids because
Terrible choice, really.
I'm going to stand by my decision to try to defend the kids' precociousness. Because some
No.
kids can be very intelligent. Like,
No,
they
no,
can be very inventive.
Let the kids have the gun.
That's where
fine.
my mind was going. It's
Yeah.
like if your children were playing with... I'm not actually going to do that. That's
No,
a
go ahead.
horrible
Go
hypothetical.
finish the thought. It's okay. You're
No,
not in the
it's-
room.
It's a horrible hypothetical, but yeah, I was going to more or less say what Xeno just said. It's like if your kids are playing with something incredibly dangerous
With supervision.
or want to play...
That's
It
how you
wouldn't
get
be
your
with
kids
super-
killed.
Some things just aren't toys. Some things are not appropriate for kids to play with.
Yes, but it teaches.
Especially
It's
not
a
really weird
valuable
being
lesson.
children.
Mhm.
It's a tool that'll teach a valuable lesson.
He
When
missed
they-
it.
Cut something or break something or
It's like big,
shoot some.
big swords, guns, watching Velma.
All things that should not be done by anybody.
I want big sword. Could
Yeah,
I have a big
Snowball?
sword.
Could I have big sword, please?
I will
I'll
be
be real
fascinated to see
good.
what the kids do. But
Mm,
there was also some more. I think in that. Oh no, it was later on. I think so.
Yeah, they were way too fixated on it though. Like
Well,
that's gonna be a future problem, I think.
we'll get to that though, because we're not quite at the lunch scene yet. At this point, you were discussing with Vera, talking to Karis about it, and Vera was not impressed by that idea, but kind of gave consent, I guess.
I'm confused on Vera telling you to give back the seed twice and not doing it.
The first time, it's because he was kind of intimidated by Karis. The second time, it's because he made a
Karis
decision
offered to give it
not
back?
to.
Yeah, Karis is blameless in this.
Yeah. She was
Karis
very
is just trying to
clearly
help.
do you want it back? Like, I don't need this right now. Like, I've got other stuff I can work on. If you want this back, here, have it.
But now with the okay, so going forward again, Petravian seeing the kids with their interest in it. Speaking of children,
We'll get to that when we get to it. Let's switch gears and talk about Riz. Riz has gone into the garden at this point
the
and
garden of Ida.
is doing something that I've been looking forward to since they got their memories back, which is getting in touch with Thess.
Yeah, we got a good once over on each other. Got a hug out of it. I was pretty happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thess is surprisingly chill about the whole thing. But I
Well-
mean, I guess it was a vacation in their minds, just dressed up in the idea of it being punishment.
What was the DC, Beardy, to contact us?
I don't know if I had a set one in mind. I just wanted to see how you'd roll.
Well, nat 20 it is, baby.
Yeah, and that's 20 it is. It worked perfectly.
Tangentially, the dice were interesting last night. A lot of nat 20s and a lot of nat 1s.
Very extreme session.
yeah, feast or famine.
But you also had some nice conversations, or rather a nice conversation, and got some hints as to how to help Zell
Yeah,
in terms of how Thess...
I didn't have to do anything.
That's not true.
I was there for him.
I think, you guys don't give yourselves enough credit.
You got some hints into how what Thess's worldview is inappropriate because it's much wider, but how they conceptualize fate and the way that different people affect each other, and how that cascades between and grows exponentially larger the more people that people touch. And yep, that comes up later in conversations with Zell, but
And to Thess, it was a tapestry,
Mhm.
which I feel is accurate to the way that, the threads of fate and all that.
the threads
What
of
are
connection and the threads
those?
of fate.
The things that are woven together
Yeah.
by fate weavers.
Uh-oh.
Ah,
But
Well,
after that, I just had Riz tell Jiro the truth. All the truth, and no one else. Hooray. But it was good to be able to clue him in on stuff, but not have to take time on it, because obviously everyone's already seen it, right? Like what happened with Riz's memories, so there's no reason to go over it again.
Well, back inside, we had an interesting conversation. Well, there were interesting discussions over the most superior form of jelly and whether or not sandwiches are best cut with crusts off or on, and what shape they need to be cut into.
They
and
gotta be
more-
rectangles for me.
okay. I didn't want to be obtuse, but
You don't cut it
Peanut
that
butter
way.
banana with peanut butter banana with honey.
That's not jelly.
That's
How
a
could it be a
superior
PB
sandwich.
and J? Well, we're not talking about that. We're talking about PB and J's.
That's just
Natural creamy peanut butter, preferably the ones that
Oh,
that
you're
you go
rich.
and get the stuff ground up first.
Yeah, he's rich.
He's rich.
with strawberry
Nah,
preserves
sure. Yeah. Okay. All right.
on
my
white
bads.
bread.
Yeah.
all disgusting. I'd rather have a Marmite sandwich.
Ooh.
I'll take whatever Skrewy's eating over the Marmite.
Different tastes for different food.
This is also
Yeast.
coming from the culture that gave us the English breakfast.
I thought people like English breakfasts.
We bloody well do. How can you eat
I
If you're
can't even eat
hungover-
breakfast.
or jet lagged or a combination of both? The only thing better than an English breakfast is a Scottish breakfast because haggis and
Is there
black
anything wrong with
Haggis. I've
a,
always wanted
or
to. I've wanted to
black
have good
pudding rather.
haggis.
Or, no, not black pudding.
What?
is there anything wrong with a British breakfast?
Yeah, what's wrong with a British breakfast?
Maybe I'm
Skrewy?
thinking of the wrong
I mean,
breakfast.
I guess there's blood sausage in it typically, right?
There,
That's-
that's the one.
That's what I
yeah.
was thinking. That's in the
Yeah.
Scottish breakfast mainly. That's
Oh, okay.
delicious.
Yeah,
Wrong
blood sausage is
area,
delicious.
Skrewy.
Sorry.
Oh, I thought it was the same thing.
And soon to me, maybe not even part of the UK.
oh Jesus.
Let's
Fingers
hope.
crossed.
I mean, my fingers are
You-
crossed, but let's
you
not
go
even
Scotland.
Hey, for Ireland, 26 plus 6 equals 1.
Okay, rich person. Anyways, so yes, there was a big discussion on jelly. So pretty much what I did was just argue with myself from like my child years and me now about like my preferences.
Ooh.
My parents would have never cut the crust off for me though. That's some bullshit.
That's tragic.
Yeah.
They would have been like, no,
Same.
crusts are good for you. Eat it.
It's like that.
Yeah.
That's where all the vitamins are.
That's what
No,
they
no,
say,
no, it's more-
right?
Well, no,
feel
it's
like-
we paid for that. You need to eat it.
I feel like it would be more of I'd ask for it and they'd be like, no, and then they'd make bread purely out of crust to spite me.
They just give you the heels.
They
Yep.
would find a way.
Oops, all heels.
You're not allowed to argue in this household. You get
No, you-
punished.
Don't use that tone with me.
Yeah. I just didn't want crust. My babysitter doesn't make me have crust. Well,
I just
Well,
feel weird
well,
because
we
my mum
killed
always.
your babysitter.
We'll
used to-
never get that babysitter again.
My mum used to make bread because it was cheaper. Because we were.
we also made bread. But
It
it
was
was more
delicious.
expensive over time to make bread than buying the dollar bread.
My
Mm.
cousin makes bread a lot.
Yeah, he's
Do they?
also. It's not even funny in this context, Kyle. I'm sorry.
It's funny to me. That's all that matters, really, right?
Sure. Anyways, for some reason,
Yeah.
Petravian, like the Neanderthal he is, asked for crunchy peanut butter, and I'm disgusted.
I mean, I'm surprised they even had that available.
Yeah, I
in the
know. Like
house.
that wasn't even part of the things that they were talking about, and Screw's just like, "Oh, this is a thing you guys would have." Like, why would the kids eat crunchy?
I
Okay.
imagine that Karis has some kind of magic that demakes things into worse versions of themselves. So she just casts that
Yeah,
on
it's
their Jif peanut butter.
yeah,
Uh,
it's
I-
a simple part of necromancy. There's a it's like a decay spell, yeah, and it's just like, all right, cool, it's crunchy now.
I don't like peanut butter, or rather, I don't like peanuts, so I've never had peanut butter. The idea of it always was
Oh.
not pleasant for me. Same with peanut butter and jelly, never had it. It's just
It
not
is-
part of the English thing.
Absolutely lovely is what it is.
Mhm.
I had to eat only that for a week because I got into a weird neurodivergent stink of it where I couldn't eat anything without feeling not satisfied.
I need to ask, why is crunchy inferior to, I guess, whipped or smooth
Texture.
or
Yeah,
It's
it,
texture.
It,
And I
texture.
used to do crunchy, but then I wised up.
Like my grandpa ate crunchy before he died. So obviously there's connections to that.
I 100% believe that Petravian prefers.
I believe
crunchy
it too.
peanut
He's
butter.
probably like, it kind
Well-
of feels like rocks in my teeth.
So
Well, no, think of it this way. He would be used to crunchy because he would be used to things not being fully like smooth and creamy and everything. He'd be used to
Yeah, my mind went there too, Kenny. I know.
I guess like I never thought of the quality of gritty, but you know what?
We're such
Yeah,
infants.
I can
Oh
see
my
it,
God.
grittiness. Just to throw my own hat into the ring real quick, I am also in the crunchy peanut butter camp is superior. So I realize I'm in the minority in this.
You're an
in
old
this
man, though. It's fine.
function.
I mean,
36. I'm not old.
But
You
somehow
like circus
Fuck.
peanuts.
But somehow I
I
knew
do.
you like crunchy peanut butter without you even saying it.
Exactly. I'm in the crunchy camp. I always have been. So I find it fun to like throw in these like, oh, this NPC hates it or that NPC hates it. But personally, I'm in the crunchy camp and I always will be.
I know a character is evil from you if they like pears.
No one's liked pears.
In the history of anyone.
I
Yeah.
love pears. I love pears. So
No, I mean the NPCs, honey.
Yeah.
Oh.
I love
That's not a really good
Paleana.
spectrometer on that.
I love Paleana being all about the mushrooms, since if I had grown up there, I would have run away, not because of the weird religious culty shit or the absent parents. It would have just been the fact that mushrooms were a staple part of the diet. I
And
would
you
have
guys were
run my ass
so
off.
similar to the Underdark. Who knew? Mushrooms
You know,
are
I
a
never
normal food there.
Oh, looks like Riken likes crunchy peanut butter.
Ugh,
It's-
you're an
Well, that's because
old
we're-
man.
That's because Riken has good taste.
Yeah, let me type this in. Ew.
Anyway, after lengthy food stuff, which I love that kind of thing. It's cute and it's fun and it just lightens things up and it's a fun part of the show and the D&D as far as I'm concerned. But after that, yeah, Petravian kind of steps in it when it comes with the Chaos Seed by discussing it with Karis in earshot of the two precocious Chaos children.
Yeah,
they are shards of chaos.
Whoopsie.
not yet.
There's something. Sure are something.
They want to use it.
I'm very curious to know for what.
I guess we'll have to ask those questions in the final checkpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit! Wow. Oh, you mean answers to all the outstanding stuff after? I thought you meant because it's going to come up soon, but yeah, of course. Because we have other stuff to discuss.
Mhm.
Other lingering plot threads, like
I've-
what happened to Plu and that creepy doll. But anyway,
Okay, the creepy doll I completely understand. Some guard accidentally picked it up after I died. Somebody cleaning up the what do you call it? The arena.
I'll probably
Went
be
in.
asking our watchers if they have any specific questions too that I can read off during
Yes.
that checkpoint as well.
Hmm.
So if you have any, start compiling your questions and I'll read them off.
absolutely. Well, once that is done, or I beg your pardon, Skrewy, stuff about that conversation.
Yeah.
We touched on it earlier, but
oh,
anything
yeah,
to add on that conversation?
Just Petravian believes in them, and they're that they could potentially do something, as I said, great with it. Don't know what kind of great it's going to be, but it's going to be great.
You're old enough to play with this ICBM? Sure.
Sure. Okay, that's the thing. Maybe they want to figure out how it works just so that they can reverse engineer it into nuclear energy.
They're 5 years old.
Yeah, with the memories of all their generations before them.
No.
You're
No,
thinking of
Thought that's how
Doom.
that worked.
That's
No.
that's Avatar.
Oh, that too, yeah.
They just remember existing
And the
inside
trail.
of Soul.
Yeah, they just have perfect recollection of their life.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
No one else's, just theirs.
just
So they're
creepy
5
kids.
years old.
They're just
but-
creepy kids who are 5 years old and somehow look like 10-year-olds.
That are very interested in this gun that you showed them.
Yeah.
What happens if I pointed at my sibling?
If we pointed at Kimball, is that okay?
Let's just stab it into her.
I mean, she already like died before, so it's okay, right?
Maybe this will be a blessing.
And you tell me off for giving Skrewy and Petravian too much shit.
Well, we do it in a certain time frame. The other one comes out just randomly, like, oh, also fuck Petravian.
But then
With love.
I get a good stern look. Well, not stern, but a good.
Also, I was just pretending to be the kids killing their sibling just then, so I don't know what you mean by that.
I get a good looking at by Vera, by not by Vera. Well, I get a good looking at by Vera anyway.
You will.
But and then by Karis, there we go, brain work. And then I toddle off with my Sammy, meet up with Kurla, and I lead. And luckily, I remember how to get around this place and lead Kurla off to the library.
Which Keni was threw a couple of reference images for what the library looks like into our voice chat while we were gaming, and I took a
very specific images that I've used to describe the estate, just because it's been formulating in my head for so many years. I know what the foyer likes and very vivid detail, all this stuff.
Well, the library images that you sent and just the descriptions as well of it are just utterly gorgeous. And as someone who loves books, I could live happily in there forever.
Same with Soul.
Ah.
And that's where they found out about their father's infidelity. Because they were, in a little corner reading a book when they heard the staff talking about it.
Having fun isn't hard.
When you got a library card. Or just a library in your house.
Well, Kurla was seeking out a book on Voluna because they need to know more about this person who is now. How did you put it, Beardy? Their sugar mama.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep.
And I roll a nat 1, which was the best possible way that scene could go. That made me happy. It was, delightful moment. So thank you for the children's book that was nonetheless quite informative.
GM was making a fun. It's unfortunate the chat's gone, but they actually wrote out a rhyme.
Mm-hmm.
And I read it. It was oh, that's sweet.
I mean, if you go to the video yesterday to that point, you can reread it.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's right. That's right.
Yeah, it's there in the feed.
I
But
didn't
once
even
it's
see
gone
it.
from Twitch, it's gone forever.
I didn't even see it. Oh, I wish I had now. But anyway, and then after sort of absorbing what little useful information was in that book, they had a couple of other bits of business to take care of and had to cross something out of their journal, which it was many, many episodes ago, but they had been writing stuff in their journal at one point, 20 episodes ago, and part of that was compiling a list of things that they needed to do, and that's one of the things that is one of the newer editions, but yeah, sensing that things are coming to a head, having recovered the Sapphire and having this 4-point plan that we're working our way through, they needed to get in touch with their folks and let them know just what had happened in case they don't make it out of this battle. Their folks deserve to know what happened to V. They wish that they could have done it in person. As a player, I think it's great that they didn't, because that would have been time away from what's going on. It would have slowed things down, and it works better having them
it is
deliver it at a
something
distance.
Just as an idea, if you ever want to do something like that, you can always say that you do the thing without needing the RP part. So let's say you're Livette, let's go to this place, and you go for an afternoon or something to go do something. Those are possibilities for stuff.
I considered it, and had that been the case, I probably would have asked to roll it like that. But I think it does work better doing it, having to do it remotely. Kurla choosing to do it indirectly, because who wants to deliver that news in person?
do by text.
I mean,
Cowards.
And message.
it speaks to some things about Curler that they still need to work out between them and their parents. Yeah, I mean, I felt it was appropriate for them. And it also worked well in keeping things moving, I thought. You've got a quizzical expression there, Kenny, so perhaps you disagree.
I mean, I liked that scene. There was a couple of things I wasn't sure about.
Well, we'll get to that, perhaps. But yeah, I thought that was a powerful scene for me, and it was nice to kind of bring that arc to a close for them.
Then
And
you got lost.
Then I got lost. Yeah,
And you meet one of my favorite characters, Daddy!
wasn't expecting that
Daddy,
at
Daddy,
all.
Daddy!
Was that something, Beardy, that you had planned on? You wanted to bring him in if possible, or
Nope.
just random?
That was because of a bad roll.
Yeah, like
Entirely.
a 5, I think it was.
He was in fucking Solicity's reading room. So
Solicity's not around anymore.
No,
so you
she
don't have
can't
to use
scare
it.
him away. And I was
Yeah.
so happy. I was like, oh, I recognize this room. I was so pleased as peaches. I miss him so much. And it's funny because I was literally planning on talking to Beardy at some point and just being like, so what's the relationship between the kids and their grandpa? Because, like, we really haven't seen him, which is fine because obviously that's their lives. But it was really cool getting to see him.
And yeah, I wanted to pursue the whole obligations thing more, just because I wanted to get it in canon what their relationship was now with their other offspring, because I felt that would be important to you, Kenny.
No.
So it was nice. No, oh, fuck's sake.
All that matters is him and Soul in my book. And, like, maybe Rose, but, like, I don't know any of the other kids.
Well, I meant more for Rose, yeah.
We can pretend she was at the wedding.
Okay, fuck Rose. Jesus Christ.
Meh.
We
I-
might see her in Parthenay one day.
That'd be interesting.
It would be interesting. There would be no connections whatsoever. It'd just be like, look at that NPC. They exist.
Well, after meeting him and him being his usual, I guess, trying to... just being charming, we'll put it that
He
way.
is a
Not
very
smarmy, but
charming
charming.
Dad. Fucking idiot.
It was cool to meet him, and also to meet someone for the first time who they didn't want to eat. That was also important to throw in. For me.
Also, I'd like to state that Kurla talked to this total stranger, like that person on the subway, who starts interrogating people, and like eventually you've learned this person's entire life.
And their social security number.
You got to get that social security number.
It's obviously, like, what's the point of talking to people if you can't get that?
They're learning how to make conversation. It's still new to them.
But
With complete strangers, not with party members, but...
But after a little back and forth, the kids ran in. Because they could sense that Kurla got lost.
Which is so cute. I'm fond of the kids, what can I say?
They're a bunch of creepy kids. Like, y'all are like, they're so cute, and I'm over here like, y'all are fooled.
They're creepy AF.
They're so creepy.
Well, I mean, we don't remember them throwing down the orb in the special, so we don't know that they're quite as creepy as
but
they
they've
are.
still been creepy the entire time.
But they're kids, so it comes off as, I don't know, precocious
Even
and cute.
creepier.
Right?
All right, well,
I've seen The Shining.
Yeah. There's a blood elevator waiting for all of us soon.
That's what keeps me going.
Hell
but
yeah.
there was some nice. I loved the auntie, Lala. That just makes Kurla happy, makes me happy. But the kids also explained their nature to Kurla, which Kurla was a little bit
Perturbed?
disbelieving for starters. But then it became clear that the kids were being completely serious, and yeah, that was. I don't know if perturbed is the word. I'm not sure if they were concerned so much as surprised and trying to take it in stride, but also wondering,
They
what the
don't
hell
have
this
any
might mean.
friends.
Aside
That's
from
what that
Kimball.
means.
Yeah.
I mean, the staff
town-
counts, like what's left of them.
Yeah, and the townspeople, like the town kids, they don't know, like they avoid those too.
You can't mingle with the common folk
It's not even the issue.
or the weirdos.
No, it's the common folk don't want to mingle with them because they're weird.
Yeah, they just appear and disappear everywhere, and they always win at every game, and it's not fair.
Mm-hmm. It's not fun to be around. Don't make me play with them, Mom. They're important. You
they're
should
the
play
next
with them.
protectors. You want to be friends with them.
If you get friends with them now, then that can be really helpful for you for the rest of your life.
And the rest
But,
of our
Mom,
family.
they're weird.
That's
And to which that statement would be, "You're going to do it. Just deal with it."
Mm-hmm.
so the kids themselves don't count themselves as having any friends.
That's rough.
They can hear people.
That is rough. Which, yeah. But Curler likes kids, so doesn't quite know how to deal with these kids because they don't like getting pocket money for sweets or anything because they don't need it.
Well,
so
it
they don't
doesn't make
understand
sense to them. They're like, we don't need this.
it. Sure.
We're literally the richest people in town.
That makes perfect sense for them, yeah. But it's not something Curler had quite considered. They're trying to be a good auntie
Like,
in
to
the
them,
only ways
they'd
that they
be
know
like,
how.
Oh, if you got us like an actual treat, sure. But if you're giving us money, we have that. We could get whatever we want. It's not like a thoughtful gift to them.
Okay. Which is totally fair. It's where they're coming from, and Curler's coming from a different place where pocket money is something to be.
You're gonna be
That-
so rich after you move in with these kids. In the,
Oh god,
in the nicest of clothing all the time.
that's gonna be so fucking weird for Curler.
Popular. You're gonna be popular.
I don't know if Curl's gonna be popular in the elf village, but you know, we can try to break those barriers.
Mm-hmm.
A half orc and an elf in a high elf village. Wow.
That's already fairly racist.
You said high elf village. You're just being redundant.
Suddenly, their fear of folks being racist against them is going to be justified. Just when they were getting over that and realizing that most people could be trusted not to be nasty to them. Oh dear.
I just like that we took this campaign of Beardies and just made it highly racist everywhere.
That's true. It used to never be racist.
It's fine.
Curler saw a lot of racism where it actually wasn't there,
That's true.
which was, you know, an important part of their character. This, I don't want to say persecution complex, but yeah, seeing stuff where it wasn't necessarily there. It would be amusing if at the end of this, having got over that, they do start seeing actual racism.
They're like, oh, that's what racism was? Oh, fuck. This isn't good at all.
In fairness, at the beginning in episode 0, they were racist there, and they did want to kick the shit out of
Well,
Curler,
they
but
assumed Curla was an orc. They misunderstood.
bastard. Kill them all.
Dare you.
Can we go back and kill them?
Uneducated.
Anyway, there was a nice line in there once the kids led Curler out to the grounds. Sometimes it's better to let go, which that was poignant.
They're fucking creepy.
Mm-hmm.
Was it-
Creepy kids.
Creepy
It's a
kids.
meaningful line out of the mouths of babes, right?
Exactly. Just like that.
Great timing. Comedic timing is just chef's
Mhm.
kiss.
Yeah. Compliments on your kids' comedic timing.
But, you know, a really cute moment. Petravian summoned Chisel away from his family once more. But Petravian opened his heart and was like, hey, there's a bad battle coming up. Would you mind fighting with me?
Yeah, giving him the choice
I know,
to take
it
part.
was so good.
I wasn't sure how he was going to sort of vocalize yes or no,
Yeah, it's
especially
like-
without the hat on.
It's like, oh, you didn't say yes or no. Okay, you're coming with me.
But no, it was very, very sweet.
I definitely wanted to give him the out. I knew what we were going into, and I was giving him the choice.
It was good. Good bean moment. You got good bean points.
Yes. It
Good
was-
bean moment.
And then had me hop up and just started doing a little trot around.
It was heartwarming. It's nice to see them getting on and understanding each other. And I don't think Chisel made his usual noise, but he didn't snort. I was waiting for Chisel's snorts, and no,
I mean, he did snort in the beginning.
On the way in. Yeah.
this wasn't described as such, which...
No, Beardy said Chisel snorts.
Chisel snorts.
I think I described it differently at first.
Yeah,
but
At
then I
first, but you
corrected
did
it to
eventually
Chisel.
say it.
You said
Yeah.
makes that distinctive.
A distinct elk noise.
noise.
Oh yeah, that was at the end. But at the beginning, when he finished materializing into the garden, Chisel snorts.
I didn't hear the word snort in there, but I must have missed it.
But
Play
no,
it
he
back.
did at the.
I will.
Hit the tape.
But he did at the end the. I can't even imitate that sound. It's the take a horn and blow it. Well, it's higher pitched than that.
That's it.
Date
That's
ourselves.
what Chisel
Yes.
sounds like. Oh, good times,
yeah,
great America.
He's
Papa John.
a
There
good
it
boy.
is.
He's a good boy.
He is a good boy.
Mwah.
You are such a beautiful moose. All the other moose will.
Very cute moose. Make all boy mooses go.
Wah.
Wah. I have antlers. Wah.
I knew Skrewy would be the only other person to watch that movie. I love you.
What are you talking about?
Princess Diaries
Yes.
2, obviously.
Okay, gotcha.
The best of the two movies. I can't stand the first one, but the
How
second
could I have
one.
missed it?
Because it's a great movie and it really
'Cause the-
shoved Kelly Clarkson into stardom. Oh,
Because the first movie's about she finds out she's a princess, and the
Mhm.
second movie's about she has to marry a prince.
yeah.
Okay.
So she can be
Wanna make
queen of Genovia because her grandma's getting old.
Yeah.
Oh, I've
Okay.
seen the first one. I haven't seen
The
the...
second one's so much better. The first one's so
Second one.
uncomfortable to watch.
I mean, the because it's very tropey.
Julie
The
Andrews.
first
I
one's
mean,
less
very
the
tropey. They're
second
both
one's
kind of
also
tropey, but the second one,
tropey.
yes, but the second one has more Julie Andrews.
It's true, and it's more fun. It's more light spirited. I feel like the first one was very mean spirited with a lot of stuff.
Yes.
Notably, so was the book, so it's fine. But anyways, Kurla walks over to Riz to have a conversation. After they come back out into the garden. And I am curious what the intent of this one was.
Yeah, it didn't quite cover what I wanted it to cover. Basically, Kurla wanted to check in to see how Riz was doing and if they were still beating themselves up over failing.
No, they weren't until you said stuff.
And they also wanted to be honest and express that they had, in a certain sense, interfered with Riz without asking permission. Done something on Riz's behalf to try to help Riz without actually, letting them know ahead of time or even afterwards. So that was them wanting to be honest and not wanting there to be anything unspoken about that whole thing. And yeah, but the conversation did not go as Kurla had planned or I had planned. It was a mess. There was not good communication there. So yeah, if
and it may have ruffled some feathers, possibly. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
not the intention at all. I don't know what else to say aside from that. Communication did not go smoothly.
I mean, I just don't know why you had to tell Riz that.
Because Kurla is big on consent and feels bad about having done something on someone's behalf without telling them. That's who they are.
Yeah.
That's who they've always been.
Xeno.
Does that not track?
Sorry, Xeno's typing something else. I just feel like you took the wind out from under Riz's wings. Because
No.
obviously they didn't know that Kurla did this. So them feeling like they actually earned their memories is now gone.
But that's something that Curler emphasized, that they did earn it, that all Curler did was make sure that they were in the
Just
right
because you
place at the
say
right
something doesn't mean
time.
that feels right. Because, like, you still said you did something, right? So, pretty much to Riz, they were just like, oh, so it wasn't me.
Well, that's Riz's misinterpretation.
That's how they feel about it. Not misinterpretation, that's just how they feel about it.
I really don't know what to say in this situation. I mean, as a player, would you have preferred that I, as a player, not do that?
Yeah, I would have not told people.
I mean, like, personally, like, I don't know, like, would it have benefited Riz to know that you had done something on their behalf? I don't know, maybe not. It's a question.
It would have felt dishonest to Curler not to have said that. And no, they didn't anticipate a bad outcome from that because, once again, communication between them.
They're just very different people.
And that's frustrating.
I mean, at least to Riz, they were coasting pretty well. But with that information, it definitely, knocked the wind out of their sails. That's just how it feels.
Well, that sucks.
When you think your accomplishments are your own, and then you're like, oh, but not really. It sucks. Like, say you really wanted to get into a school.
I
Okay.
get it. My frustration is just that was not my intent as a player or Curler's intent as a character.
Mm-hmm.
And it sucks to have put Riz and you in that position.
I'm fine. I'm playing my character.
Okay, so you're not frustrated as a player that this is the way you now have to play Riz.
I don't care how I play Riz. I play Riz how it needs to be done. I just play them. Oop.
Yeah, I don't think Keni goes into this with a preconception of playing a character a specific way, other than being like, this is who this person is, and I will play them as that person.
I would have preferred not to introduce more conflict between them. That was the opposite of the intent.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. We're at the end, and I really want to go into the final battle as a kind of unified front on good terms with each other.
I mean...
So...
go
me! Yay!
That's just the character I'm playing. Like, they're fine without that information. They know way too much in their life anyways. They know a lot of things now. That's okay.
Well, I mean, that was the intention, and what wanted to be expressed, what was expressed, and how that was understood on the other end. None of those lined up, which happens. It sucks. Moving on.
But Petravian comes back outside of the house as well and talks to Vera and doesn't tell her that he gave the seed to Karis and she told him that it would take a little while to research. Instead, he was just like, yeah, Karis has it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Without the added detail.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Always forgetting to add the important parts.
Communication.
Yeah, that's a me.
Mario.
Wait, Chris Pratt's here? Holy shit.
I know, right?
My God, he's in the room with us.
So.
Yeah.
Why?
I'm not. No, okay. It was not intentional. It most certainly was not intentional. But yeah, that was a schwoopsies on my part.
So did you just forget that Karis told you it would take a little while?
No, I thought I did. Me personally, yes, I forgot that it was. I did not process that it would take a while. That it would be that the research would be. I thought it would be overnight that they were going to be doing it.
Rip Karis.
Yeah.
We're just gonna keep overworking her. She's gonna die early. Unless she becomes a lich or something.
No, she hates liches.
I don't know.
I do hate liches.
Does she? Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, she was really against.
She's very
Matilda.
anti-intelligent undead.
I only vaguely recall that episode. In fact, I only recall the Schnookums part.
Also, I was just looking
For
at
that.
the old title cards and looking at the cursed Karis and the graveyard image, which I love so much.
R.I.P. that picture. It never
I
did
love that
well.
image.
It's so good.
Thank you.
I like it.
I always enjoyed it.
It just did bad on TikTok.
It really did.
I liked it.
It just didn't get views the way I wanted it to.
It got like 11 or 15 views for some reason.
Yeah,
right?
it was like the lowest viewed thing I've ever made.
So you re-uploaded it and got like the same amount.
And I think it's because skeletons aren't like okay in some countries.
In China.
Yeah.
Skulls are forbidden for interpretation or something.
Yeah. But
I
Dances
did not
from the
know that.
Dirt is the specific episode Xeno is talking about that image is from, with my really weird skeletons that are morphed a little. It's fine.
Spooky, scary skeletons.
But that is a cute Karis face. I like
Yeah.
drunk
Mhm,
Karis
mhm,
picture.
mhm.
Oh, Drunk Harris was great. That was a good shot.
Yep.
Good times.
Great America.
Papa John's.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Kurla had a conversation with Valuna,
Mm-hmm.
which I think they were mostly asking about were you trying to get told what to do?
I'm not clear on what you mean quite
Well,
by
because
that.
you kept asking for like, what do I need to do? Like, do I need to grovel and all this stuff? And I was just like, poor Valuna.
Well, yeah, that I
This poor sweet goddess.
having a healthy relationship with a deity is not something that Kurla knows how to do.
Yeah.
That all the deities that they knew how to worship at the beginning of their life was all horrifically skewed,
Mm-hmm.
and that which hungers has fucked them up as well. So
A real poop. That one.
they need to
Real
know
poop head.
Mm-hmm.
the questions are coming from a genuine place, and they're not coming from a place of obligation. They're coming from a place well, you've helped, you're on the level, and I'm in this position now, so what do you expect of me so I can get the job done? It's them trying to be kind of pragmatic and also not fuck this up, because I think they sense it can be a good thing for them. So they're not looking to be ordered, but they're looking to make sure that they actually do things right for a change.
Valuna's over here like, just be nice. Just
So
be a
you were-
nice person.
So you were told not to harm dreamers,
Mhm.
correct?
Respect the lives of all who dream.
Which I liked.
But does that mean if
that's a
someone
real simple
is...
rule?
Oh, yeah, but if someone's attacking you and they're a living human person, does that mean you can't defend yourself?
It means you shouldn't kill them. You gotta respect their life.
And
So
that's
if you
Yeah,
can-
Vera.
If you can deal
I don't understand
non-lethal
this.
damage,
Vera.
that would be preferred.
Vera.
Non-lethal damage, Vera.
and
Stop fucking killing
Vera.
Vera.
that was the guidance that Kurla needed, and being told to leave it up to their own conscience as well was what was needed. Validation that they're contextualizing it as, well, healing people will let them sleep better and let them actually enjoy dreams in the evening and such was important to them, to make sure they were on the same page there. But the thing that they were building up to and really needed an answer on, again coming from having been fucked up by that which hungers, like, is this evil within them, is this urge to do nastiness that made them appropriate for that which hungers nasty power? Are they worthy of actually using positive power? Because they leapt into this in a really not sober mindset after all the shit that went down. with their sister and with the curse lifting. And now they're trying to figure out, well,
Valuna's
have
over
this-
here like, you don't have to follow me, bro. You can do whatever you want.
It's like, yeah, if you're looking for an out, you can have it. Like, you don't have to be here. I'm not gonna control your soul like other gods.
they needed to hear that. And
You are free to make your own decisions.
they needed to hear that, and they also needed to hear that they weren't unworthy in the sight of the gods, or
Yeah.
nasty and only able to channel horrible, shitty energy, and they needed kind of a repudiation of the feeling of abandonment when they ran from the village and begged all of the gods for help and got nothing in return. So it was... all of that conversation was needed in order for them to serve Valuna wholeheartedly and understand what the expectations were, and yeah, it was an important conversation for them to have, and now it paves the way for a positive relationship with a deity for Kurla, which is kind of a big deal considering they started the campaign mad and wanting to kill a god or gods, whether or not it was feasible, which of course it never was, and they knew that at some level, but didn't care because anger towards all the gods, they all suck.
Yeah. Started the campaign as Kurla God Hater.
And now they don't.
Yeah.
Now they've got one that they can follow.
Arc.
That's what I was going for in that conversation. And thank you, Beardy, for playing that so beautifully. I love that you interrupted before Kurla could even fully vocalize the thought of their potential unworthiness.
Yeah. If you were unworthy, you wouldn't have my power right now. It's that simple.
Yeah.
And also, I wanted Valuna to emphasize that while the power might come from Valuna, its wielding and application is entirely up to Kurla. So,
I think Kurla wants to make Valuna proud.
and I think that by doing that, Kurla's going to have very sweet dreams.
True that.
Yeah, that was lovely as well. Thank you for setting that up, that Kurla dreamt of someone special to them that night, without, which of course was Verla, but that was never stated directly. In my mind, it was.
I mean, I think it's very much so a literary sense that Beardy described it, which I appreciate as telling without showing.
Right.
In a way.
It could be interpreted in any number of different ways. Like,
well,
to me, it was Verla, but anyone
could it be
could have-
interpreted in a lot of ways? I think there's only
Yeah.
one person, really.
Also, I wanted to emphasize or mention that nightmares are not necessarily bad things. That they can be important warnings and messages, and they're important to people as well.
So there was
They're
not
not
nice
always
lore
to be looked
that
at as negatives.
there was nice lore that came out of that, and nice tying off some character arc stuff, I thought. I mean, I don't know how the rest of you responded to that, or even if you were interested in that moment, but I certainly was.
For the Verla part?
The Valuna stuff.
Oh, yeah. One thing I kind of wish it happened sooner, because I feel like that would have caused even more, like, conflict in a way.
Like
Just
prior
like,
to the
hey.
giant stuff.
Well, because you'd be like, no, that is a dreamer. I don't know. I think it would have been funny.
Yeah, I would have liked that too, but
Probably.
the timing-wise, it didn't work out.
We'll see.
Anyway. So that was a nice conversation, nice dreams. Meanwhile,
Petravian.
yes.
Finds Karis in her nightgown.
Oh yeah,
Very spicy.
yeah. Woo!
Mhm.
Karis in her night clothes. Her hair just pulled back in a simple ponytail.
For a minute, I really did think that scene was going to go in a different direction.
Oh really?
Really?
You thought it was
for
gonna
a-
get spicy for Petra?
For a moment, and then I remembered, all of the shit that had gone between them in the past and all the reasons that it wasn't going to go in that direction. But for me, there was a hint of the potential, which just kind of made me smile.
I'm just Karis being like, Petra, it's been so long.
Mom, you sounded
I've been-
like you were getting hurt last night. Are you alright?
Nah, just
You
Why are
sounded
you
like
walking
were in
funny?
pain.
There were a million reasons that you weren't going to take it in that direction, Beardy, and I didn't think you would. But
Uncle
for a
Petra
split
just
second,
wanted to spend the night in Mommy's room. That's all.
for a split
Why?
second, I thought, yeah, they were going to get intimate, spend some intimate
Is it in-
time.
I thought he liked Auntie Vera. This is very confusing.
How you doing?
Some-
Nope.
Sometimes Mommy wants
Nope.
things too.
Sometimes Mummy likes it when it hurts.
Oh, God.
He's so pretty, but he's so dumb.
Oh man.
But it did lead to
I mean, you
a
gotta know
very...
he's probably packing, so.
Oh my God. I always thought he was overcompensating for something.
Nah,
Teasing.
nah, fam.
I don't know.
Like,
I don't know. Anybody that talks about the hammer that much is usually overcompensating.
It's true.
Well, it did lead to a nice sort of intimate moment between the two of them, just intimate in the non-euphemistic
Mhm.
sense of the word.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're at this point, I think that they're kind of just old friends, and Karis wanted to kind of check up on him because she after the scene with the sandwiches, she was kind of like, I don't think he's okay right now. Like I think he needs a friend. So
No, just the whole part of being like, "Are you okay?" And just Patricia's like, "No."
No.
So
And
sad.
that much-needed hug and the concern that Karis expressed for them in the Christmas special, obviously being only quasi-canonical and unremembered, it was nice to have that touched on again with Karis showing concern and giving Petravian.
That's because Karis is the best character of
Yeah.
all
Yeah,
time.
I agree. I
I
dig
gotta
it.
go.
Bye, Beardy. I love you. You're gonna take that fucking compliment. Fuck you. Take it. Take it. Take it.
Skrewy, how do you feel now, and how does Petravian feel now after reconnecting over a nice glass of chilled red wine, which was
Right?
struck me as
Fuck.
strange, but
Um,
Wait, why is that weird?
It's weird to have cooled wine, right?
We literally have
weird to
cold
have-
wine all the time.
chilled
No.
red wine is unusual. Usually one chills white wine or champagne,
right.
which
Uh,
obviously is
normally,
just sparkling white wine.
normally you have. I think if I recall correctly, red wine is kept at room temperature until you're ready to serve it, and then you put it on ice for like 10 minutes. It's slightly. It's not room temperature. White wine you keep in the refrigerator and then take out to bring to room temperature.
In fairness, I think there are varietals of
rich
red that you
man.
do chill.
I'm not a wine person, so I just
I
assumed you
like
served
wine.
it all cold, so I'm just an idiot. So don't worry about me.
Never put ice
No,
in
you're
wine
fine.
unless you're doing sangria.
I didn't say there was ice in it at any
Yeah,
point,
no, I know.
so
No,
don't
no.
worry.
No,
There is
yeah,
an
yeah,
interesting
this
thing
is,
that
this is for information.
The Spanish do a really nice thing that's half red wine, half Coca-Cola, and you do put ice in that, and it's surprisingly good. But you obviously
Mhm.
use cheap red wine for that, like jug
Cheap
red wine.
You know, like
wine and
Barefoot.
Coca-Cola with ice in it.
Barefoot's good.
Yeah.
It is surprisingly good.
I can't do it.
I mean,
It's
I
like
don't-
Pepsi. It's like Pepsi with milk.
What the
I don't-
fuck?
Christ, no.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm
what?
kicking Skrewy from
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a thing.
Kick him now.
Now,
Out!
using
Gone
using
too
chocolate
far.
milk instead of regular milk when making tea, that is interesting. It's like a tea mocha.
It's a thing. I've only had it once, and I'm like, huh. It's an abomination. I will never do this again, but it's very interesting.
I'm not saying it's not a thing, but vehicular manslaughter is also a thing, and I'm not
Uh-huh.
doing it either.
Mhm. Yeah.
Checkpoint has
Um,
dealt a lot with food and drink. I kind of love it for that.
But to bring it back around, yeah. In my head, the conversation wound its way around a bunch of different topics, and we kind of just picked in the show. We kind of picked other things, but yeah, that was a really, really great conversation for Petravian and for me.
Hmm.
He definitely, I mean, he has the group, but having somebody who is the old friend, the old flame that just asks him point blank, "Are you okay?" Outside of the, "Do you need healing?" It's important. I feel is underutilized for different characters. I mean, the way people play, it doesn't normally. It probably doesn't come up or need to come up. But the way we do the game, I think that is a very powerful question to ask a character.
Your
After-
soul needed healing.
Yeah.
Xeno, sorry.
Oh, I didn't say anything.
Oh, I
Yeah.
thought you did.
And he has his post battle, he has what his eyes are set on for why he's doing this, outside of, well, we got to save the world. So yeah, it looked good.
A nice conversation. Nice for them to catch up. Good to be friends with your exes sometimes. Although I do love the fact that you both
I feel
rarely,
like
rarely is it good actually.
I
but
feel
in
like
this instance
7
it was.
times out of 10, no.
Karis is the exception. That's
Yes.
nice. The fact that it was acknowledged, both of them, just how shit they would have been as a couple,
Oh yeah.
was nice. That wrapped a nice bow on that whole arc. And they're both
And now they
more
can be
mature
catty
now.
with each. Now they can be. They can.
Because-
Oh,
Oh dear.
I have a wine buddy now.
If we live.
If
If
we
we
live,
It's a big
Petravian
if.
now has a wine buddy that he can pop over into. Go. Karis, get the wine out.
Karis, you wouldn't believe the book I was reading.
So how are the kids?
They've killed so many people, Petravian. They've gone on a rampage. I don't know what to do.
That's just like
Oh, you just got to take away their
their iPad.
their iPad. Oh god. Yeah, you know the pad where they keep all their stored eyes.
From
That
all
they've
the people
taken
they've
from
killed.
their victims.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Jesus.
Because it's got a lot of views on them.
Oh.
Mm.
Let him
Screwy.
get it out. Let him get it out.
Well played, but you're
It
evil.
was horrible. I did want to unalive, but it was good.
Thank you.
Anyway, we finish up all of our business at the manor.
Mhm.
We bid a fond farewell to Karis, and we leap on a teleport pad and find ourselves in a beautiful, scenic, sublime, pastoral setting. Yay, we get to the Merry Valley again. Because Zell reaches out to us to ask us to make sure that we arrive in time for the party of a certain aged halfling, whose name I don't wish to butcher, even though I know what it is.
Triple snatch.
I don't think that's right, Dribble
Mhm.
Snatch.
So everyone keeps on saying. I'm pretty sure that's it.
Must be.
We get to the Merry Valley, and they're in Petravian of a fight. I wish it was brutaler.
I mean, like I said, any fight between the two is going to be much shorter because literally Petravian is her brother, and literally her entire religion is that to basically keep the family together.
Yeah.
It was a very well played question, an armor piercing question, just absolute jaw dropping, stunned silence from everyone.
I am wondering if anyone expected this. At all.
No.
From Vera, no.
Yes.
I can't speak to everyone else, but I did not see that question coming. It's certainly not phrased that way anyway. Do you want to repeat what the exact question was?
I believe it was, are you here for the hive or just to fuck Hummel or something along those lines?
Did
But-
you join the just to fuck?
Yeah.
So
Damn.
this is actually comes from something that, well, obviously, with Betravian talking about wanting to get with Hummel, and then everything in the past of being like told like, oh no, do this, to not liking whenever Vera was doing her typical stuff, and then not listening to her when she said, hey, you're going to give this back, right? And he's like, yes, and then instantly doesn't do it. And before Vera had met anybody, she was obviously with Bahrain, and there was a point where Bahrain told Vera that she should not trust anyone or use any methods like sexual, because those people are parasites. They're not actual followers. Because Bahrain
Wow.
didn't want Vera to ever do that, because obviously it'd be unhealthy and it would lead to nothing. So
Makes
Vera
sense.
views anyone who does that as a parasite.
Wow, that's heavy. Okay. Portray now. I gotta take that mental information. Just
How long
Gravy
has
doesn't know that.
how long has that question been brewing for Vera? Ever since? I mean, I assume since even before they Petravian asked to use Vera's body, or was that the crux of it, or was that the genesis of it?
It has been a partial question, but Vera trusted them because they obviously she trusts the people in the hive implicitly, and to her knowledge, they weren't doing anything like that necessarily. But obviously, anything of that nature is very uncomfortable for Vera, anyways. So obviously, in the back of her mind, she's still like, I don't know. But that's when, with the statement at the fair, that's when it all kind of boiled up and was just like stuck in her mind.
Although
And now,
they-
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, please.
Oh, no, and now with that being said, Vera now feels like she's being a terrible hivekin in questioning Betravian. So now she's going to start drinking a bit at the fair, which will be fun next session.
To it.
I'm assuming then that the reassurance from Petravian did land, and that Vera is taking them at their word, or taking him at his word, or is there still uncertainty there, compounding the feelings of guilt over distrusting them?
I'd say that there is overlapping issues there, in that she is taking him at his word, and the fact that she's thinking about like not trusting it is making her question herself more, because then once again she's like, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to by trusting him.
Sure.
So
That makes sense. It's a mess and would drive anyone to drink.
and I'm sure that they have plenty of strong drinks at the Merry Valley. So
Strong
Oh,
sweet
very much
drinks,
so.
although I would imagine that Vera was still dosing their drink with extra honey, or
But
perhaps
they'd
not.
be really
I think she
small
might be too
drinks.
depressed for that.
Oh my. Wow. You know,
Oh.
Vera's
Vera's
in
just
trouble if
drinking
they
hard
stop
liquor, maybe.
Yeah, I
dosing
think
their liquor. Oof.
she's just trying to deal by not dealing.
Yeah, we'll have to-
I know this feeling.
we'll have to see what Beardy gives me to work with drink wise next
Well,
session.
Do you remember
The
the drinking
halflings are-
episode in season 1, which was literally in the Merry Valley? Everyone got sloshed that
True.
episode.
Wait,
Yeah.
is that lost lore?
No? Well, I mean, that is the Lost Lore episode, but everyone still ended up getting sloshed in the re-recording.
It just wasn't as good.
It just wasn't as good because people decided they were going to change the story.
Yeah, people change the story and then smile about it later.
I tried to do
I
the
was a
same
bad
thing.
person back then, and I regret changing the story.
I wasn't able to do the same
Could
thing.
have had a second kid.
Yep. Could have had a
Through
second
the,
kid.
through
Would've
the
been
lens of
awesome.
hindsight. Okay. With that, I was a different person at the
It was a
beginning
different
of
time.
campaign 1. I feel
Okay, go
I had
on.
a different view. I had a different viewpoint of what storytelling was. I thought we were just playing a game, and it wasn't as, to me at the time, it wasn't as deep as it has become. So
Baby, we got years of this.
yeah,
I'm not letting this end.
exactly. So there is so much that I'm eager to see, and I will never knowingly change a storyline like that again. You have my word.
I mean, notably,
Unless I'm like a
everything's
fate
live.
weaver who I can just reverse time and go, oops, no, we didn't
Do
die.
you want to be dead? Do you want to be dead, Skrewy? Is that what you want?
No.
Okay.
Sounds like Skrewy
No.
wants to be dead.
Sounds like Skrewy wants to be dead.
That's what I heard.
Yeah. Raise your hand if you heard it.
I was so sure of myself that I was going to be able to handle that situation.
But
I was wrong.
so going back though to the question,
Oh,
how did Petravian feel about that?
about the drinking?
The fight.
Oh. Deserved.
Really?
A very well deserved question. A well earned question, really. And he is sorry that his actions have caused those feelings to be felt. He is sorry that he is sorry that he has made this situation happen.
I think I recall Petravian also saying that they found the question hurtful, though.
Yeah, that's what I remember.
It hurt? Yeah, it's hurtful. It's not saying it's not saying it's not hurtful, but at the same time, he feels that, yeah, I was a shit person for making you feel these feelings, but yeah, it still hurts. So
Well,
he's trying to be more open with his feelings on that.
I guess I'm just surprised that Petravian feels like any of that is his responsibility unless any part of that is actually true, I guess.
Because he's a big ball of not wanting other people to feel bad. And he automatically assumes that it's his fault.
It's weird when people do that. I have no idea what that's like. I say snidely. That didn't land, did it? It was a good character moment between the two of them, and hopefully it will lead to reconciliation versus more strife.
I hope I hope that I have the opportunity to notice Vera completely drinking themselves into a stupor.
Oh, of course, you're just gonna see them like drunk crying in the corner.
Like,
It's gonna be fantastic.
Man,
That's something.
sometimes I like to daydream about what would happen if Soul was still in the party.
Mm-hmm.
And it mostly consists of Soul crushing people.
Petravian specifically.
Both physically and verbally. Just
Nothing's more raw than a teenager insulting you. They get into the nitty-gritty of the things you're like most sensitive about.
Mm-hmm. They detect your insecurities.
Your insecurities and weaknesses.
Yeah, and then they go right at them.
Ah, yeah, that was.
I've
fun
gotten
too.
quicker, I feel, and I think I eventually, after enough back and forths, I could potentially go toe to toe with Soul's angst.
Ooh, I would
Do
like
we
to
need to
just
do a-
RP this for fun now.
I was going to say, do we need to do a battle royale that's
Just
just
verbal
Yeah,
RP.
RP.
verbal
battle.
RP?
Yes.
Well, okay, I'm getting training at home.
Those are kids.
Yeah, My daughter keeps going, I hate you! I don't like you!
Yeah,
All that kind
you
of...
think Soul would go with that?
No, Soul would go some vicious stuff.
Right for the jugular. yeah.
Oh.
Like your hammer's small.
No. You know they'd bring up like a cataloged amount of things that Petravian would do.
Yeah.
And
It's like
just
with dates and
pile
times.
it on.
And I'm gonna have to take my own personal unwillingness to go places and just
Oh my god.
unleash
Fight
it.
me, Skrewy. I'm into this. Fight me. Ugh.
Hurt me, Daddy.
Hurt me, Daddy. Make it burn.
Whoa.
I'll make it tingle at least.
Wow. Well, that's delightful.
I didn't know.
Hey, look at that last question.
Oh my. Good gracious
Got
me.
him.
Perhaps we should move on to the rest of the party, since we do eventually, after this argument, reach the party, which is amazingly well decked out with food and decorations
of
and drinks, and
Mm-hmm.
which I loved.
Petravian hates, apparently.
What's wrong with pink?
I am curious
the clash
why you...
colors, the clash.
She's just I mean, I feel like it was very halfling in how bright the colors were.
Mm-hmm.
Given
Well, it's
how
also
old she
very
is,
apropos for the age, because if you ever go down to Florida, you see like old people's houses
Purple
are...
hats and red feathers.
Yup. They're pimps. Walking around with
You
they
know
got
what
their
the-
canes and...
the Red Hat Society.
Oh yeah, no, I
Yeah.
know the Red Hat clubs.
Okay.
Are they still around?
They're still around.
don't.
My grandma's
Oh
in
yeah,
one.
that's the thing still there.
Oh.
No, like they'll paint their houses and everything even brighter and brighter colors because their eyes are going.
That's what I was gonna say. It's the only color they can see.
It's bright.
Yeah. Hmm. And it hurts. It hurts when you're driving through these.
Poprosito.
I know.
Oh, the
Hey,
colors
I'm
are too
sorry. I'm
bright for
sorry. My
me.
rods and cones are still in the appropriate abilities.
Oh no, it's too saturated. Whatever will I do about this hue?
I mean, you go plow into somebody's houses. I can't see.
Sounds like a very
Palm
much so a
tree.
you problem.
Yeah.
Like, why are you just staring directly at that? You should be staring at the road if you're driving, honey.
Kenny raises a good
When
point.
it's not my fault that
Oh.
these houses are painted in these horrible,
You're
ghastly
right.
colors.
It's not your fault that they're painted that way. It is your fault for your bad driving, though.
I was going to say, what you're admitting to is that you're an easily distracted driver.
Oh no, that's not that. Yeah, there's no question there.
That you are,
I'm just
or
an
that
easily
you aren't?
distracted person.
Oh, screwy.
I'm an
It's a-
easily distractible person, so
It's a good
Amazing.
thing you don't have any young lives that are dependent on you to make good choices and drive safely.
yeah, that'd be horrible, huh?
You're a good
Uh.
dad, Screwy.
Hey.
Just a bad driver.
Oh, wow.
I mean, yeah, there was that one time coming home from a convention.
'Cause you did
That's true. You were supposed to stop and sleep if you were too tired.
I did stop. The thing is, I did stop and sleep a bunch of times, but they didn't work.
A
They didn't
collision
take-
isn't a substitute for a stop.
What?
Correct.
There was, you know what? I don't even want to know. I'm just
Oh,
glad
no,
everyone
no,
is
it's-
okay and
It was
safe.
a couple years ago. I guess 3 or 4 now.
I'll send pictures.
Oh dear.
It's kind of amazing you survived based
know,
on the way
right?
the car looked.
Jesus.
And
'cause
that,
he
and
was
I and
asleep.
nobody else was involved. It was just me and the guardrail.
Ooh, screwy.
Who won?
The guardrail,
The
obviously.
Guardrail.
guardrail.
I mean, I think
I'm-
Screwy
Actually, it
won
was
because
the
he's still
guard
alive.
wire.
Yeah, I'm glad that you're okay. That
Give it a
I
shot.
don't remember. I vaguely remember this, mate. God, my memory's
I
fucking
think
awful.
this was before we started the show.
Yes.
Right
Okay.
before we started the show, because I think we had just. It was that weekend. I think it was the weekend we were literally setting everything up. And then we get that fucking message, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude.
Yep.
But in any case, at the party, we got goodie bags, and there were games everywhere, which I'm looking forward to people playing games in the
I-
next session.
I didn't realize goodie bags were a thing in.
If you go
I
to
mean,
a
well-
party, yeah.
They are a thing in the US.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I did not
I
know.
know they're different on how they're used because goodie bags you get at the end of the party normally when you're about to leave, and it does not include cake, which I believe is something that is normal in other countries.
I don't remember cake in the goodie bags in
Okay.
the UK, but yeah, I didn't get invited to any birthday parties when I moved to the US, so I never knew if it was like a thing in the US as well as in the UK.
All the ones that I hosted, at least, I always had goodie bags for the people who came.
Well, that's awesome. That's kind.
I planned for whenever this is my 40th. I turned 40 this year.
Oh, we should have a party for him, guys.
We should.
Yeah.
I was planning on one of the things I wanted to do. At least within the next 5 years, is go do a Vespa tour of like Vietnam or something, or like go travel somewhere and do like one of those kind of riding on a motorcycle kind of deal. Not like a Harley or anything, just like just to see stuff. But I know if on like my 50th birthday, I am having people come, and I'm gonna do it up with like goodie bags. Like, y'all are gonna have to ship this shit home. You ain't gonna be able to go home with it in your carry-on. So, but yeah.
It'll just be a huge jar of crunchy peanut butter and a bag of tomatoes. Oh god, I said tomatoes, not tomatoes. I really have been in this country too long.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna get you.
Soon you're gonna start saying flashlight, an elevator.
I do say y'all, but y'all is genuinely useful.
Well,
Oh yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
we don't have another word for it.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
English
Beardy's gonna be
doesn't have
going
it.
home with an enormous box of circus peanuts. It's gonna be all customized kind of deal.
No. Okay.
Kenny's gone to vomit now.
I can understand.
Oh dear. Well, yeah, we all kind of separate at this party to do
Mhm.
our own things. Vera decides to drink, I think. Goodness gracious, I'm blanking already. It was only last night, but it was somewhat late.
I know
Levette
I
and
was doing
Archie,
Trevor's doing the strongman.
yes. Levette and Archie
There was a
go-
pie eating contest at the end that I'm very excited for.
Oh goodness. Yeah, I can see Petravian being into that. Are you into that, Skrewy? Is that a thing you do? Pie eating
I love
contests?
pie eating. Yes.
Are you good at them? Are you like pro level?
Oh yes.
So
I've been doing pie eating contests since I was in 8th grade.
I
I'm
just
really
had-
good at it.
I just had my first blueberry pie ever recently. Low tier pies, gotta say.
Mm,
I've
Um,
become fond of pumpkin pie, but I don't
Yes.
understand the appeal of a pie eating contest because surely you're shoveling them down so quickly that you can't like enjoy the taste,
Oh,
and
not
you
about
have to
enjoyment.
starve yourself beforehand, and you have to unhinge your jaw like a snake. Maybe not that last one.
well, no, the trick with pie eating contests truly is shovel, like, and just like you're turning your lower jaw into just like a scoop.
Yeah,
but
when
why?
it comes, because when it comes to any food, like eating contests, it's not about enjoyment. It's about winning.
I
Mhm.
just
that's
don't.
why-
It's an American
understand-
thing.
I don't get
That's
it.
why for like a hot dog eating contest,
Mhm.
you literally dunk the bread into water and make
Yeah.
it soggy.
Yeah,
no.
it's
When
awful.
I was in Alaska
Oh,
and I went
God.
to the blueberry festival, there was a blueberry pie eating contest, and they all had like these small pies, but you had to like the trick was you had to get it out of the tin and then eat it really
Yes.
fast, and your hands were tied behind your back, and it was so fun. So many of my Girl Scouts in my troop went into the contest, and it was so great being able to backpack and experience that festival in person. I, of course, would never do that because I was far too easily embarrassed, but I did enjoy seeing my friends embarrassed.
I'm not. I want to be clear. I'm not criticizing it as a thing. I'm just saying I don't get it, and I would like to understand it better.
For some things, it's because it's silly. It makes your face messy, and you can kind of laugh along with that. There's like some camaraderie in it.
There's
Okay.
normally decent prizes too.
True.
I know that on my first one that I ever did, There was this was in 8th grade. No, 6th grade. It was 6th grade. This was back when I still lived in Florida. This was the Harvest Festival in Florida, which is still hot as fuck. So, pumpkin pies, which is possibly why I really still love pumpkin pie. I ate. You had to eat 3 pies in. There was a set amount of time, and you could eat as many pies as you needed to in that amount of time. And I ate 3 pies. And they were decently sized, and I just plowed through them. And I still have the prize. It's in my tech bin, but it's
That's
useless.
cute.
Yeah,
Pride.
Yeah, but I won.
I watch a few competitive eaters online, like Matt Stoney.
Matt
really
Stoney.
fun. He's so good.
He's a god among men.
I think there's one guy, Beard Meets Food, who does a bunch of eating challenges from the UK.
Mm-hmm.
He's also pretty good. But first of all, it looks delicious to me. Like for a lot of the challenges, I just love food.
It's like the 72-ounce steak thing, where if you eat enough of it in the short enough time, you get it for free. But I never understood that either. But anyway, back to the party,
Yes.
because Mrs. What was the name, Xeno?
Dribble Snatch.
Wimblepots.
Never heard of that one.
Fuck you.
Mrs. Wimblepot is introduced. She is absolutely adorable and wonderful. Coke bottle glasses, as you would expect. Just ancient, wizened, lovely woman with,
Hello.
what was it,
Mary.
60 direct descendants?
Yep.
Huddling around. So someone who has made a lot of impact on the Merry Valley and who's, through their offspring, will continue to make an impact long after they're gone.
Candy.
Which is something that Riz and Zell get to chatting about.
He saw ripples in the world from lives touching lives, which I think was enough for him to get it. I feel really bad that he seems sad. It's not my fault, but it is my fault. At least it's not Soul's fault.
And this theme was kind of teased out earlier in the conversation with Thess, but yes, Zell now sees it as that tapestry, or rather, well, ripples, but it's much the same.
It's just a different
It's
way
the same
of seeing
thing
it.
that they're describing it, just different particular metaphors.
Yep, and I wanted them to have different ways of seeing the same kind of thing, to get the same idea, but through different metaphor. Just to represent how people can perceive the world differently, but still see the same thing.
And if Riz could, they'd take his place so he wouldn't have to. But oh well. You gotta do
Unfortunately,
what you gotta do.
His days are numbered. I'm curious, is that I mean, Levette's not here to ask, but Xeno and Skrewy, what Keni just said for Riz, if Riz would take Zell's place if they could, is that true of your characters?
Yes. Vera, 100%. Because to Vera is just another drone in a bigger picture to the hive.
Interesting, but it is
Just like-
still a question of saving the hive, not saving the world. You
Yes.
mentioned that distinction in the past.
Correct.
Okay. Skrewy?
I'm gonna say no.
Really?
Because
Our
he
paladin,
feels like
everybody.
he has more. He has more to do alive right now, like more that he can do, being alive.
Like what?
I mean, guiding. I feel like there's so much more that he could do. But if it came down to it, like either I do it or you do it, man, I'm gonna actually abstain because I can't honestly answer that outside of I know Petravian feels he has more to do than just go off and at this juncture. Damn, that is a I don't have a great answer. I apologize.
No,
I
it's okay.
don't have a good answer.
I was
Not at
just
all.
curious what your thoughts were. That's all.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, no.
We'll
Yes.
say that Curler would as well, but crucially it wouldn't because of their self-destructive kick that they're finally getting over. It wouldn't be out of a desire to die. It would be out of just the pure desire to save people,
Okay.
and that's progress for them. But yes,
I
they would
feel like
absolutely do
Levette
it.
would obviously do it because she's always been for that self-sacrificial shit. Yeah.
Yeah, Curler wants to live at this point, but they have found something that they are willing to actually die for.
And if Riz died, they're not even sure if like they die. So it's like, what are the consequences?
Mm-hmm.
Well, unless there are other things that folks want to
Nope.
discuss, I mean, it feels like things are coming to a head.
I know, it's exciting. I'm ready to finish it off. I'm ready to.
Kill it.
Yeah. I feel like the story's definitely like, it is time. So I'm like, you got it,
It is
Mufasa,
time.
or whatever.
We are in the end
Rafiki?
game, I think, or at least on the
Yeah,
precipice of it. Sorry, Xeno, what was that?
No, I'm just doing a reference to UHF.
Not UHF.
Vera,
What a great movie.
remember who you are.
This is CNN.
But with that,
You
thank
must
you
avenge me, Kimba.
all
I
so
mean,
much
Simba.
for rolling with us. We had a great time, and we hope you look forward to next weekend as we continue the story. We love you all very, very much, and make sure to take care of yourselves. Okay, no more of that shit. Bye.
I made it.
Bye.